For today's project, we're going to try to do something with this massive tea I've got here. I recently picked up this piece of maple that's got some outstanding curl, and believe it or not, I got it at the big box store. So enough talking, let's get to building. I didn't start this project with any size in mind. All I know is I wanted it to go 3 tea bags across and then fit enough of the tea bags in there that I didn't have to keep going back to the pantry to get more. This board came from the big box store, believe it or not, pretty flat. It's 3/4 of an inch, and I'm just breaking it down in half. It is pretty figured wood, so I was worried about bringing it through the planer. So instead, I opted to take out the bandsaw marks here with the drum sander. For the bottom panel and the dividers inside the box, I'm just using a piece of scrap hard maple that I had and just cutting it down to pretty close to about 1/4 of an inch thick. By the time I was done taking out the bandsaw marks, I was left with something in between 1/4 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. With a dado this thin, no need for a dado set. I'm just using the curve of the blade, which is about 1/8 of an inch, and making multiple passes and just sneaking up on a snug connection. So I make a pass, test it, move the fence over a little bit, test it again until I got that perfect fit. I think it might be time to put some oil on these squeaky gears. This miter sled that I made, and I'll put a link up in the top right, really made it easy to make repeatable cuts, make it so that I could really easily cut and know what my inside dimensions are going to be, and it's just really been a game changer for me. After setting a tea bag in here, I realized that I probably made it a little too short, so time to trim it down a little bit. to sand the insides because it'd be a little bit difficult to do this once it's all glued up. Blue painter's tapes really makes a good clamp. It's really helpful for holding the miter edges together. Glue on the miter joints is end grain to end grain and doesn't hold up very well. So I'm going to be using some splines to strengthen that joint. I made this spline jig based upon some plans from the Fisher shop. I'll put those links to that up in the upper right hand corner here. This is another one of those pieces where you want to cut a little on the large side and then sneak up on that because you want to have a good tight connection here so the glue holds it and it doesn't flop around. This wasn't the easiest place to put glue on because it was pretty tight connection. So to avoid having so much glue squeeze out, you'll see here I just put a little bit on here, mainly on the top, and then I just use my finger to spread it thinner so that I don't have as much coming out. I don't know if I'm actually holding it or using this properly. It still worked, but these little flexible flush trim saws are really great for this. Sometimes you will get them to scratch because the teeth in there, they'll scratch the wood, so sometimes you'll see people putting tape on. I didn't have that experience, so it didn't bother me. And then here, I want to make sure that the top of this is completely flat. So my table saw is the flattest surface in my shop, and I'm just using some sandpaper, moving it around until I get it perfectly flat. processes, getting one edge flat on the jointer, and then getting one edge flat, and then that'll allow me to take it over to the table saw and break it down to the right size, the width that is, and then take it to the planer and get it to the right thickness. That's after I do cut it on the bandsaw. What I'm going for here is I want the appearance to be a solid piece of wood, meaning I don't want a gap in between the individual compartment lids. This is exactly what I was going for. You can barely see the cut line. Here I was trying to use my dado blade, just one of them, to get a better edge on the dado around it so that it can sit down inside the box. My thought here was this one doesn't have the alternating tooth, I think is what it's called, and it would provide a better finish, and it really did. Hey, what do you think about my my miter sand here? It's not crazy if it works, right? I put tape here to mark where I wanted the pulls to go, and also to give me a space so that maybe I didn't have so much glue squeeze out to do. But I'm using a little bit of tight bond and some star bond here, and that star bond just acts as a clamp. I'm not sponsored by Odie's Oil, but man, I just love using their product. It does an amazing job. It's easy to apply. It provides a great finish, and it just brought out the curl of this maple, which you'll see here in a minute. A Q-tip does a really good job at getting in those tight spots. like here on these dados and then around that pull handle. Just wipe it down with a rag and boom, look at that curl. I sincerely hope you enjoyed taking this journey with me. If you did, give it that thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay, give it a thumbs down. But comment and share, all of those things help the channel out. And as always, until next time, I wish you and your family a blessed day. Thank you.